Y'all know what it is. It's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has a missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping $ usual 50/50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20 with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Y'all know what it is. It's the usual suspect 650-50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $ usual 50/50. Tickets on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be sent. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshitting on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Push the weight enough flex. The live is one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You ain't run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga, boof. I'm a 88 pack nigga, boof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
I cannot unsee the left hook. Stop crying. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Oh, it's time to bleed this morning. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Good morning. Come on in. Smash the like button. Like and share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to Miguel and his minions to do anything for us. We don't need him. Let's do this roll call. Let's get to it. Bernard Gilbert, Black Superman. Where you been, brother? Good to see you. Brother Reef. Copper, what up, man? Mac of the South. Ratchet since 91. Michael Ray. Shakira Fields. Todd Swindle. Adrian Beck. Shower salute. Oh, yeah, I'm in my bag when it comes to these clowns. It's only going to get, with the fights coming up, fighters that we hold their feet to the flame, it's only going to get worse for them. Real spill. Gerald Alexander, Todd French, DP Rocker, the Sensei, Stormy B-Man. Yes, sir. Coach Hudson in the building. Let's highlight that. Let's highlight that for a minute. Coach says the degradation, the degraded, it's early, y'all. It's early. I ain't got on my motherfucking glasses. Y'all know I'm almost 50. The degradation of the very spirit of the sport of boxing. We are dealing with the consequences of our best not pressing the line, leaving room for cowards to take over the sport. And I couldn't agree more. What's going on here is that you're seeing a direct result from when casuals take over the sport. You get into stupid, when you're a real supporter of the sport, You actually get suckered into debates. And when you're talking boxing, you gotta listen because you're actually having two different conversations. You're talking about the sport. You're talking about what a fighter did wrong, what the fighter needs to do better, or just you're talking about the sport. And you won't know that you're in a conversation with a person that just has an unconditional love for the person you're critiquing or holding accountable. That goes beyond race, culture, and creed. And you find out within the conversation, because you know what starts happening? They're the first ones to start firing personal shots at you personally. They don't even know you. If you're a content creator, they've watched bits and pieces of your content. You might put, because when you put certain names in a title, they throw you in the algorithm. There's going to be a Ryan Garcia fan that finds my channel today for the first time, or sometime tomorrow. Oh, let's see what he's talking about. Oh, he's another hater. Well, let me make this clear. If you're finding me for the first time, I hate Ryan Garcia. My position is completely justified. What's not justified is your unconditional love for him after what he said, what he's done. Do you notice he never apologized for anything he's done? He's justified it. I said that about George Floyd because I was high. I was on shrooms. That's what he said. And the world takes that and says, oh, okay, yeah, okay, that was it. He was on shrooms. Oh, I popped dirty because I was ashwagandha. Wrong. I was on super carb. Wrong. I was on perfect amino. Wrong, wrong, wrong. It was Scooter's fault. Wrong. It was Victor Conti. Wrong, 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 wrong. Hey, man, kids are getting raped in the forest. I'm going to go save the kids. Oh, okay, let's just forget about everything he did. And it's not so much that they love him. They love who he did it to. That's the racial aspect of it. You will never make me like this kid. Ever. And this is why, and I'm going to take it a step further. This is where the racial thing comes in at. This is why I say, hey, guys like Lomachenko, okay, I'm just going to watch what he does. He don't need my support. The red carpet was rolled right out for him. That's what I said. Did you hear me say he was trash in the ring? No. Lomachenko's for real. A lot of those white fighters that took over HBO, all of those guys can fight. But I said they don't need my help. I'm just watching them. They don't need my support. I ain't got to, run around and make videos. Oh, man, this guy did. No. The red carpet is rolled out for them. I'm good talking about black fighters here. And I talk about all fighters that do what they're supposed to do. I don't have no problem if you're out here getting it, if you're out here getting to it. That's great. If you're out here getting to it, that's great. I'll talk about it. You do the right thing. I'm talking. Usyk is great, man. He's getting to it. Hey, did he do some things I don't like? Maybe one. He ducked Deontay. He did. But outside of that, hey man, he didn't need to fight him. There was no popular demand to fight him. He said what he said. I wanted him to make do on what he said. He didn't do it. But I'm like, all right, I'm cool. He didn't want to do it. All right, cool. We was waiting for him in New York. I wanted to meet him and see if he was gonna keep his word. He didn't do it. Okay, fine. I ain't make a big deal out of it. I'll let that go. I say this every morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a supporter of if you're a supporter of the sport, well, fuck that. If you're a supporter of the sport, hold the fort. That's fine. And if you like one fighter over a bunch of others, that's also fine. All I can ask you is to be honest in your opinion. And if you're a fighter that you support, whether he's related to you or lives up the street from you, or he's the son or daughter of someone you know or whatever, Hold it down. That's fine. If he speaks the same language, our brother Felix Nunez said he's rooting for Edwin De Los Santos because he's Dominican. I fucks with that. That's fine. I fucks with that. That's cool. All I can say is hold your fighters accountable. For whatever reason you're rooting for them for, hold them accountable if they do something wrong. You can celebrate them when they do something great. Hold them accountable when they do something wrong. Because I swear to God, a black fighter does something crazy, a black manager nowadays does something crazy or says something crazy, I get a bunch of people with foreign last names running over. If their contemporary is like one of those from one of those places in Who Gives a Fuckistan, all of a sudden, I don't know, guys with last name Sigma Chuda shows up in my chat. Oh, what do you have to say about if his contemporary is a black fighter? They pop up in my chat asking me, well, what about him? He caught a DUI the other day. It's like, bro, I've never seen you before. Why are you over here checking to see if I hold mine accountable, but you don't hold yours? Again, where's the Sergey Kovalev mugshots at? That man's been arrested at least 3 times. And he beat up Becky and kicked her dog. That happened. That happened. Just Sparks, salute. Ern Jordan. Dion next up. Kevin Dunbar, spiritually biased. Jarrell Freeman. Ern Jordan. Jeff Spark. Shepard King. Brandon. Jerome King. Kamara, what up? Rod Neal. Michael Fleming. Snoop. Tay-Tay, morning. Dill Spooley. Regan Nat Rennies, what up? Delano, what up? You know, all right, well, let him do what he do. Like I just said that. You stand in the pocket for your man for whatever you want to stand in the pocket for. But people see you. People see you. And I'm wondering, you know, at this point, this goes beyond how anybody could stand in the pocket for Ryan Garcia at this point. It's alarming. It's disturbing. It is disturbing. Because if a black man said anything remotely close to what he said, he'd be fined and somebody would sue him. He had to go sit down with some people, donate some money. Do y'all forget what happened to Kyrie Irving? And if I missed you in the chat, know that I love you. Y'all remember what happened to Kyrie Irving? Joe Townsend, salute, PGH. Y'all remember what happened to Kyrie Irving? To me, it was literally just yesterday. Literally. Give you the short story if you don't know. The short version. You know, when you're out loud about your religion or your thought process of how you see the world treating the black community, if you're out loud about that, they put the magnifying glass on you. And then they start asking leading questions. Stephen X, salute. They start asking leading questions. They want to trip you up. That's why if you're in the public eye, they say you're not supposed to mix state and religion. That's bullshit. But keep your personal life to yourself, man. Rick, what up? HMC, what up? Keep your personal shit to yourself. You have popular beliefs. You have beliefs that are not popular. Keep it to yourself. When you're making your bread, keep it to yourself. I'd have told Kyrie Irving that if I knew him personally. I'd have told him, yo, look, stop right now. Don't say shit else. Leave it alone. Just say, yo, I'm here to bounce a basketball. That's it. Because that's what they want to hear. Make your bread, dribble your ball. If you want to be some sort of leader, then you do that when you retire. Get your bread, bro. Live your life and get your bread. You don't need it. You don't need this headache. Because I'd have told him about a man named Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, a.k.a. Chris Jackson. He came into the league, Chris Jackson. When he turned to the Islamic faith, he changed his name to Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Look up what happened to him when he played for Denver, when he didn't stand for the national anthem. What they did to him. There was no internet back then. I used to listen to sports radio. The station out here was WFAN, The Fan. Sports radio. And these white folk went crazy. What they didn't know is that he was doing that for a long time before someone got word of it. I remember Mutombo said, hey, man, you know, he's been doing that all this time. Why are y'all making a big deal out of it? Yeah, and I'd have told Mahmoud Abdul Rauf about a guy named Craig Hodges. Exactly. Did y'all hear him tell that story? At that time, he was with the championship Bulls. I'm like, what the fuck did he do? Go Google what happened with him when what he did was he showed up in a dashiki, number one, not a suit and tie. He showed up in a dashiki and he left. He wrote a letter. Just go look at the story, man. He didn't do anything. Next thing you know, the league don't even acknowledge him. I was like, damn, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. I was just having a conversation with a buddy of mine at work. And he's into boxing, but he's not into it to the degree that I am. And he still thinks that Ryan Garcia has a win over Devin Heny. And I said, no. And you know, you got to listen, family, you got to be patient with people because you can tell when they don't know. And he speaks with a lot of passion. I said, no, bro, you're wrong. You're wrong. And then I was calmly explaining it to him. Again, you got to exercise patience, y'all. When you want to get your point across, you could be, I was screaming on the inside because I know what I know. He knows I know what I know, but he still listens to he still reads these boxing, like World Boxing News and Boxing 24. And I had to explain to him, first of all, those articles are written, those people that write those articles, a lot of those guys are just haters, man. Especially when they don't put a name on the shit that they put out. It'll say boxing scene staff. They don't even put a name on it, but they'll put some bullshit out there. Remember when I read the article where it said that in order for Devin to reach the pinnacle of superstardom, he has to fight these guys. And this was when Devin was at 135, y'all. Boots was on the list. I think one of the Charlos was on the list. And Tank was on the list, which was fine. Shakur, that was fine. And y'all remember when David Benavidez was on that list? I was like, what the hell is going on? What is he? Who wrote this? It was the most airhead shit. Those guys that write are human like everybody else, and they are emotionally driven like anybody else. You see, when you're a journalist, you have a duty to report the news. You have a duty to report the news with integrity, regardless of how you feel. And this is what made MSNBC and Fox, that rivalry, so different. Let me park there for a minute. Not an 86 in that super chat. Much love. He says, salute Drew and salute to the mighty LDBC. Salute to you, brother. Thank you so much. Let me park here for a minute. And my brother Trill Will he knows this. My brother Trill will be honest. He knows this. Years ago, during the Obama administration, everybody knows Fox was Republican, MSNBC was Democrat, right? Code 67, salute. And Mansa Musa, salute, brother. Cameron, salute. What's that brother's name? He had a show, came on 8 o'clock on Keith Olbermann. Used to be on ESPN. Keith Olbermann had a show. Used to come on 8 o'clock over here. And, you know, I used to watch, and I also watch Fox because I want to hear the other side. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm watching. Keith Olbermann was terminated from his employment on from MSNBC, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I'm reading it. He was terminated because he donated to the Democratic Party. He donated cash. So people were pissed off. They was like, man, Keith, so what? He's a Democrat. Why can't he donate? Here was the problem. And when I read because at first I was like, man, that's not fair. And then when I read why, I just told you that journalists have a responsibility to tell the truth. They report the news and tell the truth. That's what they had, especially in politics. Whether you like it or not, you find something, you tell the truth, whether you like it or not. You find something, you write down what happened, then you can give your opinion. Now, I'm not a journalist by trade, but when I put out short videos, what do I always say? Article from boxing scene. I read you the article. And then I say, here's my opinion on it. And then at the end of my video, I say, link in the description. You tell me what you think. Don't I always say that? That's fair. Because you could read the article and say, no, Drew, that's not what I'm getting from this. I can get this, I'm getting this and that. And maybe I can learn something from you, because why? I don't know everything. But Keith Olbermann was terminated, right? Because he picked a side. All of those people at MSNBC, to my understanding, the guys that have shows and everything else, to my understanding, they're journalists. They can't do that. They report what happens and they give you their opinion on it. Everyone ran over to Fox and said, hey, man, those guys are donating to the Republican Party left and right. Guess what? The dudes that do donate, they're not journalists by trade. Whoa! Go! You see how that worked? Rashad, what up? You see how that worked? And that's how they dodged that bullet. Those guys are not journalists by trade. They're in suits and ties, and they could read and understand politics, and they give you their opinion no matter how bizarre it is. And they could donate whoever they want to donate to. Why? They're not journalists by trade. That's what I read. I said, oh, man. So basically, Keith was supposed to know better. He just didn't give a crap. And I'm not saying Keith was right or wrong. I'm just saying he didn't care. And he was terminated. That's what happened. And I used to like watching Keith's show. I used to follow Keith when he was on ESPN in the mornings. Duh! And I said, oh, he's doing politics now. I said, oh, man, that's great. And he had an entertaining show, and he would troll Rush Limbaugh, and he was fun to watch. And I would listen to his political opinion, and I do my little bit of research. Then I go to Fox and hear when they talking about something that's hot in politics, and I'm like, okay, let me hear what they got to say. And I'd research it, and I'd compare the information. That's all you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. What is he saying? What is he saying? Let me do my own research and see what I say. But you know what happens? If Fox is giving you that Republican feel good, you hold on to all of that outrageous shit they were saying. If MSNBC is giving you that Democrat feel good, you listen to everything that they're saying, you take that as gold. But I respect the people that say, okay, I heard this, let me investigate it myself and compare. That's how you're supposed to do it in life. This is why I'll never lose a debate, y'all, because I'm never going to talk about shit I don't know anything about. Y'all saw it yesterday. It went from, why am I dragging Tank? Oh, you're a Tank fan? Then you find out dude is not a Tank fan. What do you scream? What? Oh, well, you degrade women. When? Your mama. That was his response. Oh, okay. How long have you been watching me? 2 years. Well, when did I say, what did I say that pissed you off? Well, you degrading black women and black men. And well, what did I say? Well, you drive a bus. Yeah, and you're not a high value man. I never said that. See what I mean? Jay, please. Are you serious? When? Today? Seriously? This breaking news? Wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute. Hold on. When was this? I'm looking for it. I know in 2019, there was no post-PED test. WBO to review. Would you hear this, good brother? I don't know. Seriously? Oh my God! Somebody drop the link so I can look at it. You got to be fucking kidding me. It's in Ring Magazine? Hold on. Nah. Oh, you got to. Wait a minute. You got to be fucking kidding me, bro. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. He needed PEDs to beat that dude that knocked him out last time? Do me a favor, somebody put the link, because I'm multitasking here, y'all. I got a soundboard here. Somebody put the link in there so I can just pull it up and read it. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate all of y'all. You see, I don't see everything. That's why I have you guys. I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind being wrong and being corrected. I don't mind. Oh, Shay girl, my brother Southern T just said it too. Salute to Southern T. Oh my God, you know why this is bad? Before the rematch, who was in Heny's locker room? Canelo. Oh my God. Okay, here it is. Thank you. Breaking news. Heny Munguia test positive for a banned substance. Failed PED test after Bruno Serraz. Yo, Bruno Serraz knocked him out in the first fight. Yo, oh my God. Yo, this is so typical. Oh, all right, let me read this. VADA informed all relevant parties Wednesday that Heny Munguia's A sample returned an adverse analytical finding. For example, I'm going to spell it for y'all. I got mumble mouth this morning, y'all. EXOG, extraneous origin of testosterone metabolites. I really need my glasses, y'all. Following a urine sample on May 4th. Now, let me bring this to y'all attention, right? Because everyone loves to say, and this plays right into what we're saying this morning. All right, matter of fact, why don't I just go ahead and share the screen? Let me just share the screen. Y'all can see that? Look at the date, May 4th. What's today's date? May 29th. Why the fuck are we just finding out about this now? He has 10 days to request the analysis of the B sample and the origin of testosterone metabolites. Now listen, y'all. I'm sure they knew about this when it happened, and we're just now getting the goddamn news. But when people go to this motherfucking Ryan Garcia, and I'm gonna say a name, and here's where the fanboys come in at. When Mellow Yellow, let's just call him Mellow Yellow. Let's try not to say his name this morning. When Mellow Yellow was asked about Ryan Garcia's adverse findings, he started talking about how VADA was in error. It's a scam, it's a conspiracy. And he was stumbling and bumbling through that. I'm like, yo, he's wrong. What is he talking about? And when a pro says something, or anybody in the industry says something, the casuals hold on to that. Yeah, why didn't they find it before the goddamn fight? Well, here we have another. Listen, I would love for A samples to be tested the day of the weigh-in. And you see, you have to explain to these dudes. Like I explained to dude why I ain't say this yesterday. I ain't get that deep. Because to be honest with you, I'd have been talking all day. And sometimes, and I say this respectfully, sometimes people don't have the attention span to boxing like how we have it. And I say this respectfully. All right. They don't know. Like, let me just say this. Let me say this. You can't bring up this Ryan Garcia shit without supporting it, without talking about the other mishaps in boxing, because Ryan Garcia's behavior, everything is all relevant. You understand what I'm saying? It's all relevant. All of it. So, of course, Fury came up. Do you know this dude didn't know that Tyson Fury is not allowed on American soil? So there you go. There you go. He's not allowed on American soil. He didn't know that. He didn't know what Daniel Kinahan was. He didn't know about how Deontay had to go and petition. He had to exercise his legal right for the rematch. The third fight was really the rematch. People don't even know that. It was a rematch. He had to take him to court to do that. So when you're saying suing is soft, he's one of those guys. Suing is soft. I'm like, yo, why are you acting like that's the first time a lawsuit's happened in boxing? He didn't even know what the lawsuit was about. So he was on some Quentin Rampage Jackson shit. In other words, speaking out of ignorance. You don't know. You don't sue because of a loss. You sue because of what happened that caused the loss. This guy, and now we're finding out, Heny Munguia broke the rules. Ryan broke the rules. And why would you be? And he's the one that told me. He's like, yeah, well, you know, well, I say, well, you know, PEDs matter because he looked like one way against Devin. Then he fights. This I was about to call him Slow Bus. Slow Bus Rolly, Yellow Bus Rolly, whatever the fuck. And, you know, he looked like shit against Rolly. He said, oh, well, he broke his hand. I'm like, you believe that? He said, well, yeah. I said, oh, wow, so you don't need no doctor's notes or nothing. I said, Ryan's not a liar. He said, oh, come on. I said, yo, listen. Why do you conveniently believe these guys? But you got everything negative to say about others, meaning black fighters. Then we got on that thing. He said, man, black fighters are most successful. They've been champions. They make a lot of money. And I said, oh, shit, you really don't understand what's happening here. Just like white people say, look, man, racism's dead, man. You had a black president. Stop it. George Floyd. Lero Castillo. Castillo, who was killed by an Asian American cop. Don't you dare tell me racism is dead. Stop it. Stop it. And salute to Southern T. Salute to him. And his notification did go off. I didn't see it because it went off quick. Salute to my brother Southern T. So now we have Heny Munguia. Urine sample. Look, now listen to this. A urine sample on May 4th when he defeated Bruno Saras. May 4th. It is now the 29th. Why are we just not finding out about this? And he has 10 days from today to petition it with what? The B sample. Y'all remember this B sample shit? Ryan failed. Right? Ryan failed. And everyone said, nah, the B sample's gonna clear him. And I said, you dopes. Do y'all know what a B sample is? That's when I realized, holy shit, a lot of people are ignorant. Let me explain for those who don't know. All a B sample is, it's the same piss from the same sample. It's from the same specimen. You piss in a cup. I know this because I get randomed. I work for transit. We get randomed all the time. You could be just having a good day, and your day gets better. When you pull into a stop randomly and you see a superintendent and a dispatcher standing there, if you're not doing nothing wrong, you ain't got nothing to worry about. They get on the bus, they be like, hey, man, like, hey, what's up? Yo, you got to go pee. I'm like, yes! You know why? They take me off my run. No matter where you at. They snuff you with it. You be in the middle of like nowhere. And a stop where you barely stop and pick anybody up. And they're like, what did they say? Oh my God, that's a superintendent there? Oh shit, what I did? You start thinking for a minute, did I take a yellow light or? Well, I don't know, what the fuck? Somebody made a complaint or? No. You get there, be like, yo, you gotta go pee. Groovy. You hop in the car with them and y'all listening to music going all the way to Brooklyn. And I take my time. I'm like, yo, I'll stop, get something to eat, something to drink, whatever. Yo, how was your weekend, man? This is great. Oh, and please do that. Do that on a Friday. Have a long weekend. I love it. And I like going up in there and it's nice and crowded. Yes! Train operators, other dispatchers. You know what the funniest part is? When you get into their Yukon and you sitting down and you start high-fiving everybody. Yo, what up? Yo, yeah, man. Yo, man, hey, man. This is overtime for me. I was just about to get off work, man. They about to pay me a whole 5 hours. And then you look in the back and it's that one dude with his arms folded like, oh, boy. He must have got off vacation. Thomas, what up? Black Jericho, what up? He must have got off a vacation. Uh-oh. He might have been partying. That's when they like to get you. You have a long vacation. Jeremy, what up? Brown on boxing, salute. You come off vacation, like, yeah. How long you? Hey, when you're an OG, you get 5 weeks. Let me see. He was gone for 5 weeks. Black Martial Arts Society, salute. He took his ass to Jamaica, and then from Jamaica, he went to DR. He only been in the States for a week, and that was the last week he was on vacation. Yep, soon as he came back, gotta go pee, bro. Messenger, what up? He back there with his arms folded. He partied for the first, y'all know his party is code. He partied for the first week, and then he was off of it. They're gonna get your ass. Now you see, if you live straight line, you ain't gotta worry about none of that stuff. I love getting random. I love it. Take me off my run. I'm fine. Good. Yup. I'm in the Bronx. You got to drive me all the way to Brooklyn. Yup. Hit traffic. Hit that FDR. Bumper to bumper. I'm cool. Oh, Coach Hudson. Y'all know this is going to be the talk of the week. The Juice Crew. I told you it's the Juice Crew. Eddie Reynoso. I'm telling you. Ryan was there. Canelo, Munguia, Oscar Val PEDs. So PEDs matter. He was knocked out by a guy. Now look, man. Look, this is something to consider. This is something to consider. I said it jokingly, but I'm really serious. Mellow Yellow didn't even know who does drug testing, but he had a lot to say about it. How crazy is it that as soon as people start making a big deal out of testing, when he didn't know who was doing his testing and it got narrowed down to Vada, all of a sudden the guy that campaigns at 130 pounds is standing in the pocket with him, never hurt, and put him on the back foot? Y'all didn't find that strange?
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8.
I'm being serious. I was a little confused in that fight, but then I was like, oh man, could it be? Could it be? I don't know. Could it be? I don't know. But it's awfully strange. So now, Munguia takes a dirt nap versus Surratt's in the first fight. That a guy that has, his KO ratio was like hella low. gets in the rematch, and Munguia looks like the old Munguia, minus the knockout. And now they find, because Turkey ain't playing with y'all ass no more. Now they find something is in his urine. Now getting back to the samples. The A and sugar-free Marge, my queen, salute sis. The urine samples come from the same specimen. You piss in one big cup, and they pour it in 2 small vials. You close them up. You initial it. When they close the caps, they lock. Right? They put the specimens in the bag. They walk you over to the refrigerator. You notice it. You witness it. You lock it. There's cameras everywhere, and that's it. What happened with Ryan Garcia was he says my B sample was tainted. That's what he says. He sent the law team to where the B sample was. He sent the legal team to where the B sample was to check and see if the seal was tampered with. And they didn't find anything. They said, no, it was never tampered with. To me, this was just yesterday. I said, this kid is lying all over the place. He's a liar. Which brings us to this. He had surgery in his hand. I don't believe it. Here's what I need. And I put this in the description. Here's what I need. I need doctor's notes. I need to see the doctor's degree from where he was educated. I need to see Ryan's x-rays and MRIs, if any. I need to see blood work, a passport, his mom's green card, and which hair dye Heny is using. His father, Heny, I think he'd be drunk. I want to see what hair dye he was using before I even consider what Ryan Garcia says. You understand? That's what I need. That's what I need. Y'all remember what they did to Errol? He was about to destroy Pacquiao. Detached retina. All of a sudden, everybody wants to see doctor's notes. Oh, you ducking Manny. I need to see notes. I don't believe you, Errol. This is Errol fucking Spence. I need to see doctor's notes. Y'all remember this? I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. These are the same niggas that don't believe Manny was juicing. Once everyone started making a big deal about OSDT, Nonito Donaire, Floyd Mayweather, his knockout stopped. Now, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together like, wait, okay. I know it don't really mean anything, but does it? Yeah, Dion, speaking of Chavez Jr., speaking to him, he's fighting Jake Paul next, who notoriously don't do drug testing. Notoriously, he doesn't do drug testing. So y'all, face of boxing, I don't know. I don't believe Ryan Garcia. He's a liar. He's a racist. He's a cheat. He's a liar. Is anybody on this tweet right now asking for doctor's notes? Anybody? Yeah, Kill, we was just talking about that. It's right here, brother. Yep, we was just talking about that. Right here. Where the fuck is it? Hold on. Oops, my bad. Right there. Yep, we just talking about it. Just talking about it. It's news to me. Shout out to Southern T, my brother Jay, and everybody in the chat. Thank you. Let me see if I can find this other video that, because sometimes people have short-term memory. Let's go to let me see. Ryan Garcia did enough videos about this clown. Show all. This dude been lying for a long time. Remember how bad VADA was, and now he's enrolled in it? Soon as these niggas enroll in VADA out loud so you can see it, all of a sudden, they start looking different in that ring, don't they? Shout out to Caleb Plant for pressing Ryan Garcia for insulting his black wife. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, here's my video right here. I do great work. This is when everybody was on his dick. I'm telling you, man, y'all gotta stand on it. Y'all gotta stand on it, man. I did a show, what was it, last week? Stay your ass on that side of the fence. Y'all remember that? I said, stay your ass on that side. Don't come back. Y'all pick the side. Do not come back. Do not come back. Stay your ass over there. Okay? Stay your ass over there. Y'all remember this video? Pay attention.
I'm doing perfect. Like, I'm happy. Justice will prevail, so I'm not worried about nothing. So,
yeah,
God got my back.
Obviously, you've got your legal team speaking to the New York State Athletic Commission. Do you know what happens with that process, when we are going to find out something?
After May 22nd, there should be a result for obviously the B sample. But I don't believe it'll come out clean because obviously if they found it in the A, why wouldn't they found it in the B?
What did you say?
Uh-oh.
But I don't believe it'll come out clean because obviously if they found it in the A, why wouldn't they found it in the B? I think it's all bullcrap, as we know it is. I mean, nobody takes steroids the day before the fight and the day after the fight. You would have to actually be done. So justice will prevail. God got my back.
Yeah, let's hope there is a resolution to it because it was a fantastic performance.
Thank you so much.
Against Devin Haney. But let's talk about...
I'm doing perfect. Like, I'm happy. I'm doing perfect. Like, I'm happy. Like, I'm happy. Like, I'm happy. I mean, nobody takes steroids the day before the fight and the day after the fight. You would have to actually be done. So.
Let us read. During the run-up to the bout, Mr. Garcia was using IVs. The use of IVs is prohibited under WADA and VADA. Requirements without a therapeutic use exemption and is expressly prohibited under the New York Athletic Commission guidelines. Commission guidelines. Upon information and belief, no therapeutic use exemption was granted by the New York Athletic Commission, and use was not disclosed on disclosures given to drug samplers. This is from the lawsuit, ladies and gentlemen. So if you took this to any idiot, speaking out of ignorance, when they talk about a lawsuit, he broke the rules. Quentin Jackson, the idiot that he is. Oh, you don't sue, you get it back in blood. You don't sue. He broke the rules. Oh, it was a billionth of a gram. Question, ladies and gentlemen. How do you inject a billionth of a gram of ostarine into your system? Better question, why would you inject an illegal substance that's on the ban list into your system. Why would you do that if it does nothing? Like everyone says, oh, it's Ostarine. It's not like it's testosterone or whatever the fuck my homie was saying yesterday. All the things that we debunked, he said yesterday, and I'm just looking at him like, you got to be kidding me. You really don't watch my show, do you? You know I got one. You really don't watch it. I said, well, how do you measure? How do you inject a billionth of anything in there? And better, here's a better question. Why would you? Everyone says, well, Ostarine don't do anything. That's a lie. If it didn't do anything, why is it on the ban list? And if it's on the ban list, why are you knowingly putting it into your system? And never mind the fact that he sent the perfect amino, or was it the super card? May have been both, to the third-party testing agency, and they said, yeah, there's Ostarine in this. And they said, aha! His shit was tainted. And the two companies said, nope. Two things happened. They said, there's numbers on all those canisters. You mean to tell me you got the two canisters with Ostarine in it? You're the only person that got Ostarine in it from when you bought it from our company? Nonsense. Okay? Nonsense. There's a lot number on it. So now we got to check all the lot numbers because you're lying? And then the company that did the testing, they said, well, it's really a nothing bomb. Why? Because when he sent it to us, the canisters was already open. What? Which means he put the Ostarine in it himself, dummy. So he lied. Why wasn't that breaking news? He lied. He put it in there himself. That just went away. Nobody talks about that but who? Us. So when I asked my homie yesterday, I said, is Ryan a liar? You know, I like asking people that. Is he a liar? Let's start there. Is he a liar? Yeah, because this is why I'm making my case. Is he a liar? The answer is yes. So he had hand surgery? I need to see notes. He may have. I don't believe him, though. I need to see notes. I want to talk to the doctor. I want to know where the doctor went to school. What exactly? But listen, didn't I do a whole video on hand injuries? There was a fighter who faked a hand injury to postpone an event so he could collect money on an undercard at another event. I did a video on it. I ain't gonna say his name, but he did it and he admitted it. And the reason why he snatched the rug from underneath his own feet was because the card that he was gonna headline at one card. But they said, man, pack this up, man, because you could fight on the undercard of Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos on Triller and make more money. Well, how am I going to pull out this fight? Hand injury. Why hand injury? Hand injuries are the hardest to prove. Okay. And that's what he did. And he admitted it later. You know why? He was fucking around trying to be the co-main on Teofimo's undercard. And what did Teofimo do? Y'all remember? He canceled the fight. He postponed that George Kambosos ass whooping like 4 times. So he got no payday. You know what happened? And for y'all don't know, I'm talking about Charles Conwell, y'all. I'm just saying what happened. Charles Conwell did that. He did that. He admitted it. I did a video on it. It's called Another Black Eye to the Sport. I like Charles Conwell, but he did that. I wouldn't have known about it if he didn't speak on it. I said, damn, I don't like that. Like I said, I hold my own accountable. I didn't like that. I did a video on it. It's like 3 years ago. More than that. That's what he did. I said, why hand injury? Hand injuries are the most difficult to prove. He was going to main event at his own card, and he had an undercard and everything. And when you postpone an event, nobody gets paid. And I think one of his relatives is on the undercard too. So that relative didn't get paid. Everybody on that card didn't get paid. The people that sell the popcorn didn't get paid. The people that sold the Coca-Cola, they didn't get paid. Nobody got paid. Because he wanted to go make more money fighting on the Kambosos Lopez undercard, and then Teofimo postponed that fight again because he got the COVID. It was the COVID. You remember that? Okay. This is boxing, y'all. And if we're not here to talk about it, no one talks about it. They get mad at us. I get niggas coming up in here. Oh, why you talking about black people? Oh, why you talking about black women? Oh, nigga, what is your problem? Why you talking about Tank? How about do me this favor? Tell me when I lied on black women. Tell me when I lied on Tank. And thank you. Let me get to this real quick because this leads into my point. Back in the South, a member, salute to you, good brother. I'm glad I brought that up. My queen, my sister, Sugar Free Mars. She says, my big bro, cook him. I'm on the job. Sugar Free. And salute Eric Jordan. If I miss you in the chat, I had another window up. If I miss you in the chat, know that I love you. Sugar Free Mars. We were at the after party, the Heny after party. Me, you, BFTB, and the litness of other people. Derek Chisora was there. Everybody was there. Shane Mosley, everybody was there. When me and BF was sitting down, we were looking at these women and how they were dressed. It wasn't that hot outside, but a lot of those women had their cheeks out. That's the latest thing that women are doing now. They're walking around with the bottom of their ass hanging out. The BBLs was in full display. And I'm like, man, back in the day, these chicks, you walk outside looking like that, you walk in the blade, you for sale. And by the way, to my stalker that I put in this place yesterday, those are the women I'm talking about. Because the other side to that is a majority of those sisters didn't need to be having. First of all, no woman should leave their house dressed like that, let alone if you're 500 pounds. See, I'm not making it up. I was like, what is this? When I worked at bars, the women that were dressed like that was sliding down the pole. Dead serious. All I was trying to do was make money for college books. I'm like, what is this? It's a fight after party. Why are they dressed like this? Oh, okay. This is what I'm talking about. When things become normalized. I told homie yesterday, you see, you've been conditioned. What do you mean conditioned? Everything you're saying comes from a racist mindset and you just take it as normal. You don't even know why you're thinking it. Automatically, you don't like Bill Heny. And I asked you, what did Bill do to you that you can tell me why you don't like him? He couldn't say anything. He starts looking all around. Oh, well, you know, he looks to his left, looks to his right. Well, you know, because he always talk. Oh, well, so what? And then he breaks the Don King glass. Oh, well, Don King, you know, so what? Bob Arum is old. Him and Bob Arum are around the same age. You go from Bill Heny to Don King, you don't bring up the Bob Arum. He has a racist thought process. To him, it's not racist. It's just normalized. It's normalized. He said UFC fighters look like Nazis. I heard him say it. I was like, what the fuck? Why would you say that, man? Tattooed, bald-headed white men that look like Nazis. I was like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? What are you doing, man? Why would you say that? But you know how many people ran behind him and started saying that same shit? Why would you say that, man? BVO, salute. What is going on here? Ryan Garcia saying what he said, whether he was high or not. The world is so forgiving. They're not even forgiving. They ignore it. Because that thought process has become normalized. It's normalized. Now, this same brother, who so happens to be Puerto Rican, right? Now watch this. He tells me that the PEDs didn't matter, and he still considers Ryan Garcia dominating Devin Haney. In his book, it's a win. But when we have a conversation about Margarito versus Miguel Cotto, all of a sudden, he agrees with me. See how that works? I let him right into the minefield. And I'm not talking bad about my brother. I'm just telling you about a conversation I had. He's not racist. He just was doing things because he's been conditioned and he didn't know it. So what I did was I switched lanes. I switched lanes on him. I switched on him. I said, yeah, man, you know, that Margarito shit, right? Yeah! I said, man, I love Miguel Cotto, man. And I do, man. Miguel Cotto's an instant classic. He should be in the Hall of Fame right now. I put him in the Hall of Fame over Tim Bradley. Fuck him. I fucks with Miguel Cotto. And I said, man, I thought I was watching a regular boxer puncher versus the puncher in the Puncher 1. I thought I was looking at a classic. And I was like, man, I hurt my feelings, but whatever. Y'all heard me talk about that fight. I didn't like how the HBO put it in slow motion when he's spitting blood out his mouth, and then they put the camera down on his fucking wife, and her and the kids are crying. I said, man, they didn't have to show that shit. They didn't have to show that. His wife backstage said, yo, Miguel, we got enough money. Retire. And he said, this is all I know how to do. I said, oh, man, that hurt me. That hurt my heart. My boy was like, yeah, that was fucked up. And I said, you know what else? You know, I spoke to Kermit Cintron. He was on my show. He said, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, man, Kermit, he believes he got cheated twice. He says, yeah, I believe that. Oh, he believes that. So I'm just walking him. I said, okay, he believes that. Okay, great. I believe Kermit too. And y'all might not remember, Kermit was on a tear. Then he ran into Margarito. Stopped him 2 times. Remember that last body shot? Kermit was rolling on the floor like he was dying. And Kermit was never the same since. Kermit said, you know what's going to happen if I win those fights? Well, that one fight, if I beat him once, I ain't have to do it again. They were setting up a fight between me and Miguel Cotto the eve of the Puerto Rican Day Parade in Madison Square Garden. I said, man, I'd have had to go to that. Because Kermit had the tools to compete with Cotto. Probably beat him. He was taller. He had a good punch. 2 Puerto Ricans on the eve of the Puerto Rican Day Parade? Come on, man. I'd have had to go to that. And that cheating motherfucker ruined it. He ruined it because I believe he cheated him. And Kermit was like, I think he cheated. Not one time did I say, well, Kermit, that's your fault. You see, because you were supposed to have somebody in his locker room watching the hand wraps. Now, one time did I say that to him. You know why? That's not the fucking point. But you know who they said that shit to? They did not say that to Deontay. Oops. See that? See that? They never said that to Kermit. They never said that to Golden Johnson. Paul Williams, although he beat Margarito, he said, yo, his shit felt funny. Josh Clottey said his shit felt funny. And Josh Clottey was whipping his ass until he broke his hand. He said, no, his shit felt funny. And rest in peace to Brother Nas. Brothers UK, salute. Rest in peace to Brother Nas. Brother Nas said, you know, when he called him, y'all know, I ain't got to review it. Y'all know the story. But the Shane Mosley fight is what made us double back and say, oh shit, that's why Miguel Cotto looks so fucked up. Oh man. And what I told homie yesterday, I said, yo, you know, he said, yeah, Miguel, he just got it back in blood. He didn't cry, he didn't sue. I said he didn't sue because he couldn't. You know why? There was no proof. The hand wraps disappeared. The only proof we had was when Miguel's, remember the iPad situation when he zoomed in? When things are happening in real time, there's a lot of shit you don't notice. When you look at the hand wraps after the fight, you can clearly see that there's something wrong with the wraps, but you can't sue off of a fucking picture. You need the hardcore evidence. Those hand wraps are gone. The hand wraps are gone. Yeah, Kawhi, yeah, we know that. Yeah, absolutely. You're right on that. Anthony, what up? You're right on that. So I told him, I said, listen, man, don't act like if Miguel, if that happened in the ring and someone said, yo, look at his wraps, look at his wraps. Don't act like Miguel would have said, nah, fuck it, I'll just get him in a rematch. If they caught it right there, if someone said, yo, look at his wraps, man. If someone caught him, don't tell me Miguel wouldn't have said something. Don't tell me that. And I said, man, look, we just putting two and two together. Miguel's face never looked like that. And, you know, Margarito ruined a lot of shit. He ruined the Kermit Cintron Miguel Cotto fight. He ruined it. Okay, Miguel, by the time he fought Floyd Mayweather, he was really supposed to be undefeated. Hey, Puerto Rican fans, y'all should be screaming and hollering about the WBO in Top Rank. Do you know why? They did Miguel Cotto dirty 2 times. The first time was a Margarito. You know, like how I say, what happened to Deontay Wilder happened on Al Haymon's watch? You know how I say that? They let Wilder get cheated. Then they let this motherfucker Larry Merchant in on the couch. Talking about bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Last of the great black host. Remember that? All right, I say the same shit. The Puerto Rican fans just to be saying the same shit about Bob Arum. What happened to Miguel Cotto happened on Bob Arum's watch. Let me explain. The Margarito situation. I am 100% certain that Margarito cheated Miguel Cotto. To me, that's a fact. He was just never caught. Not one time did anyone say, hey, Miguel, why didn't you have anybody in Margarito's locker room? That conversation was reserved for Deontay Wilder. Oh, it's his fault. It's his fault. Miguel Cotto. Oh, poor baby. You see what I mean? You've been conditioned. You've been conditioned. So when I say, hey, man, y'all don't say anything about Miguel Cotto's camp dropping the ball. And guess what? Just like Fury, you know, the hand wraps disappeared and the gloves are in Sugar Hill's house. And I'm talking to Mauricio Sillyman saying, yo, Sugar Hill said they're in his house. Check the gloves. He never did it. We're making excuses. But when it comes to Miguel, it's poor baby. But never mind that. The other time, Top Rank dicked around Cotto was the Manny Pacquiao fight. How the fuck are you a goddamn champion at 147? You're a welterweight champion, but there's a weight stipulation that says you can't defend your belt on fight night unless you're 145. What, you gonna tell me weight don't matter? If weight don't matter, in the middle of the Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao, you know, they were going back and forth, and that was when Floyd offered him the flat rate of $40 million. He said no. He was shopping around for an opponent. Manny Pacquiao offered Miguel Cotto a rematch. Miguel said, I'll fight you, but you got to come up to 154 this time. I'm not draining myself again. Well, there went that, because Pacquiao ain't want no smoke. If Manny Pacquiao fought a properly hydrated Miguel Cotto beats him. And I remember everyone online saying, oh no, Cotto's trying to be a weight bully. I beg to differ. Manny drained that guy. Well, Manny's small. He can't make anything past 147. He was like 150 when he fought Margarito on fight night. Please shut up. Look it up. These arguments are reserved for us. That's the racial aspect. 200 years ago, oh, we were animals, right? We have thicker skulls, bigger muscles, bigger dicks. That part was true. We weren't human, we were superhuman. They were literally afraid of us. Literally afraid of us. So how we're treated has become normalized. So I'm talking to this brother yesterday. He's right on par with the Cotto shit. But then when I mentioned Deontay, he said, yeah, Deontay sued, and then Tyson Fury destroyed him in the third fight. Destroyed him? And I'm listening to the language. Destroyed him? We're just going to breeze right by the fourth round, though. We're going to breeze right by that. We're going to breeze right by how Deontay had to sue him because Fury wasn't trying to fulfill his contractual obligations. We're going to breeze right by all of that. And in his mind, he's speaking normal. But I see it different. Because he's been conditioned to think like how who? Guys like Bob Arum has normalized the boxing public. We could talk bad about Don King, but we forget that Bob Arum had his place of business raided by the FBI, and he had to admit that he fixed fights. There's a no black fighter rule in the offices of Top Rank. Salute to Cameron Duncan. He had to admit all of that. But the only thing motherfuckers can say, man, some of the most popular fighters that made the most money were black fighters. Means nothing. Means nothing. He could tell us that the amount of money he lost on Bud Crawford, he could have bought a house in Beverly Hills. But with his first pro fight, he told us that Vasily Lomachenko was the greatest thing he ever seen since Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard. 2 men that he both knew personally. Gerard, salute. Yeah, Delano, you're right on that. PEDs were invented so the Nazis could compete with who? Us. So I want y'all to consider that too, black athletes. PEDs were invented by the Nazis. So if you're injecting any kind of thing, yeah, you're representing them. You're representing them. Okay? There you go. There you go. This kid cheated in our face. I'm watching the DAZN shit. This kid got an IV in his arm. I'm like, what the fuck? Rachel Donaire calls me. She said, you seen this? I'm like, the fuck? And then she sends it to me on the WhatsApp. And I'm like, am I missing something? She said, no. That's illegal. So when people say you don't sue, bullshit. Bullshit. Again, Floyd Mayweather Jr. sued Victor Ortiz, and he beat him. He knocked him out. You know why he sued him? Over the headbutt. That's new news to a lot of people. They just found out that in the last year. He sued him and won. Victor ain't complaining. He did it. We all saw it. I know some niggas will be like, oh, you know, he knocked him out. Why sue him? Because you're not supposed to do that shit, man. I bet you he ain't throw no fucking headbutts anymore. See that? So let's get back to this video. So now we know why DHP was suing this fool. He broke the rules. And Devin was super duper civil with him. You don't want to make the weight? Fine. You're already not making the weight. You're already smoking marijuana. You're already talking crazy. Fine. Can you at least stay off the drugs? And by the way, no one wants to talk about this, but let's not forget. Felix, what up, brother? Yup. We talking about it all. Freedom's March salute. Let's not forget, this motherfucker, oh my God. How many hours did he disappear before he went to go pee? Y'all remember that? He vanished. Y'all remember? Okay. There you go. That's illegal. Right in our face. This is Ryan Garcia. I don't care if they ban me for my whole life because I'm gonna just create my own league and do my own fights. I'm not gonna walk away from boxing. I'm gonna walk away from this boxing, create my own league and fight on my own ish. What happened to that? What happened to that? Justice will prevail. God got my back. And there goes your Jesus right there. Pray to who you worship. Yeah, Sugar Free, it was like 9 hours. That nigga vanished for 9 hours. Justice will prevail. It sure did. Justice sure did prevail because we all know what happened. We all know what happened. He got off the drugs. He went on a racist tirade. Everyone saw him for the racist that he is. And for those of you that cap for him, good. Cap for him. I don't care. I don't care. Because time reveals all truth. You're a liar. You get in the ring and get outboxed by Rolly fucking Romero? And all these cats talking about, oh, well, he was out the ring for a year. Well, how the fuck did Devin Haney look so crisp? He's been out the ring at the exact same amount of time. Oh, well, you know, he felt bullied because of how y'all was treating him in the media. Bullshit. Ryan was being hailed as a hero. Blessed and highly favored, doing videos with monkeys and shit. What the fuck was that? Doing videos with orangutans and talking about blessed and highly favored. You read the comments on that video? I'm glad to see you and Devin made up. See what I mean? All of that. And you get in the ring and get outboxed by the person you would least expect. Yo, listen, if you'd have told me, yo, Rolly's gonna win. I'd be like, okay, why? Well, what? He's gonna land something? Yeah, I could believe that. He's gonna land something. I could believe that. Nah, he's gonna win by outboxing Ryan. I'd have told you was crazy. Nobody picked Rolly to win that fight except for Bud. Maybe a few. No. Junior. My brother Junior picked Rolly. Bud picked Rolly. Shit, those are only two people I know. Personally. Well, I don't know Bud personally, but those are only two people I know. There it is. Enigmatic Son said, I picked Rolly. Hey, man, better than me. I was like, what? In that second round, I was like, what's going on here? Eric Jordan said, I picked Rolly. Oh, yeah, salute to y'all. Yep. And all I can say is, well, why'd this happen? And then the excuses came for this guy. The excuses came for this guy. One more time. The excuses came for this guy. He was depressed. Didn't it seem like this motherfucker was the victim in all of this? Oh, because he wasn't in his right mind because Devin was suing him. He was going through the lawsuit. No. And then I asked my homie. I said, yeah, why are you acting like he's a victim in this? Because all you talk about is what a bad person that Devin is. And then I asked him, I said, what happened to Get It Back in Blood? What happened to that? He says, you tell me? I said, no, you tell me. You see, he's one of those guys, he loves boxing, but he's in and out of the sport. And when he gets his news, he goes to these sites and he picks the most out loud, most biased article, and he swears by it. And I asked him, I said, look at the person who wrote that article. Do you know him? He said, no. I said, well, you know me. Who are you going to trust? He said, well, you're friends with them. I said, so what? I have an obligation to my brand first. And I'm not going to put my name on anything or co-sign anything when someone's full of shit. Because what did that say about me? I also shared with him, I said, when I first started talking to Bill, it wasn't pretty. That's my guy now. Because I'm watching the work. I stopped listening to what people were saying. That's a long story. When you get down to the meat and potatoes of it, you find out shit for yourself. But I'm not putting my name on something when someone's full of shit. Which is why I got to back off on certain people. Which is why I look at people that back these fighters because you know them unconditionally. You got to stop that shit. I'll never be an unconditional Adrian Broner fan. I can't justify what he does. Because you start putting your name on that shit, people remember, hey man, I remember you defended everything that AB did. Hey man, I remember you defended everything that Floyd Mayweather did. No, I'm very specific. Floyd Mayweather is a magician in the ring. Period. Yeah, but what about his outside of the ring? I don't want to talk about that. Why? Because I can't defend it. He's an asshole. Some of this shit was fabricated. Most of it was not, and he's a horrible person. He's a horrible person. I'm cool on that. I could differentiate the two. Do you hear me say Vasily Lomachenko's trash in the ring? No, he's the absolute truth. But unfortunately, he don't need my help. The red carpet is rolled out for him. So how fitting that I'm talking about Ryan Garcia, who I believe is guilty till proven innocent. I don't believe he had hand surgery. He's a liar. And I need to see proof. And how fitting that I didn't know, and my wonderful family in the chat lets me know, hey man, Heny Munguia popped dirty. Back in May 4th, y'all. And you motherfuckers want to talk to me, whoa, why it take so long? If Ryan was dirty, why it take so long? Why did it take so long for the results to come out? Why did it take so long? Okay. Why did it take so long? I don't know. I don't know why they did it. I wish it would change. I don't know. I would rather them do samples. But you know what? They do it. You got to pee after the goddamn fight, too. You know what I just remembered? Chavez Jr. fought in Texas. I forget who he fought. It was another Mexican guy. He beats him, right? In a decision. He had to go pee. He skipped out on the after fight drug test. Left the whole fucking state, y'all. I think he went back to Mexico. Who was that he fought? Wait a minute. I'll tell you exactly who that was. Let me pull up his box rec. I'll tell you exactly who the fuck it was. It was... No, wasn't him. Marco Antonio Rubio. That's who it was. It was at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. It was Rubio. He beat Rubio. And he after the fight, he left the whole state, bro. He left the whole state. Hannibal, salute. He left the whole state. I mean, he left They're like, wait a minute, he had to go pee. He had a weed problem. Kawhi Elliott in that super chat, much love, man. Salute, King. Bless chat, man. Salute to you, man. Salute to you, good brother. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. He left the whole state. I remember that. I ain't had no YouTube channel. I don't even think YouTube was around back then. That's how long ago this was. I remember he boogied out the whole state. I was like, yo, what's that about? Look it up, man. He left. And I think Team Rubio was like, yo, what's up with that? But he's the son of a legend. See what I mean? So this kid's a liar. The industry is built on racism, so automatically you treat black fighters a certain way. And even other black people do it in such a way that they don't even realize they're doing it. You don't even realize it. You're just doing it. You've been grandfathered in to thinking one way. You think Mexican fighter, what do you think? Put the word in the chat. When I say Mexican boxer, what's the one word that comes to your mind? What's the one thing that comes to your mind? And let me tell you, people don't give a fuck who you know and what you know. Because he said that shit. Thank you, Stephen X. Warriors. Exactly. Yeah, sugar-free Mars are starting to be PEDs. It's starting to be PEDs, for real. Harvey, exactly. It's starting to be cheaters and PEDs. Like, hey, man. Hey, man. Morales never popped. Barrera never popped. I love Juan Manuel Marquez, but he had a lot of back knee versus Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao didn't force a particular type of drug testing because they said we never pressed for it in the past. That's what he said. So he might have outsmarted himself. I'm just saying. What do they say about black fighters when we box and show lateral movement? We're running. But what's Vasily Lomachenko? The speed, the angles. See what I mean? See what I mean? Right. And then you ask him, what is the boxing? It's called the sweet science. Automatically, when he says, yeah, but you know, the Devin was boring. You know, he was boring. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You can't compare yourself to Floyd. I said, whoa. When the fuck did Devin Haney compare himself to Floyd Mayweather? Go. Because you know what I'm going to ask you. We live in an age of technology. You can't just make anything up. Because my next question is, if you tell me that he out his mouth said, yo, I am better than Floyd Mayweather. I am the next Floyd Mayweather. You could tell me, please put up the video when he said that. The media has made those comparisons. The only person that made the comparison to Floyd was who? Floyd Mayweather Sr. He said that. Who's the closest thing to your son? He said, that boy right there, Devin Haney. He didn't say Tank. He said Devin Haney. He said that. He said it. When asked, no one forwarded that information. When asked, when Bill was asked about the sparring between Floyd and Devin, he said it was a mirror match. When asked, I got that video. So, you know, having a conversation with me is not like having a conversation with a group of people with emotional opinions in a barbershop who just read these articles and can't investigate shit, who don't have an inside ear. If I don't know something, first of all, when I read something and I'm not sure about what it is, I'll call Blue, I'll call 78, I'll call BFTB and say, have you seen this? What is this? I'll call Bill. Have you seen this? What is this? You seen this? What's going on here? There it is. Having a conversation with me, and then when you reduce to saying, oh, well, you know those guys, so you're going to talk about, okay, well, first of all, I do know those guys. I'm going to talk them up. You know what's disrespectful? You talking down on them when I'm sitting right here in front of you. That means you don't give a fuck. Hollywood, salute. That means you don't give a fuck. So I'm cool with that. Because you're just a fan. You don't know what I know. That's what I'm saying. Fellas, you got to dial it back for a minute. You don't argue with people that are uneducated. Do you argue about life situations with a goddamn 14-year-old that live with his mama? Why would you do that? You just look at them and say, what the fuck do you know? You're 14, man. You're not finished with puberty, bro. You got a little height on you. You're 14. Shut up, kid. Get out of here. You don't pay taxes. You don't pay a mortgage. You might have a baby. But you're not married. What the fuck? Go sit down somewhere. Get out of here. Get away from me, kid. You bother me. You remember that? Get away from me, kid. You bother me. Get out of here. That's how I treat these guys. He loves the sport, but he's a casual. And he arms himself with the bullshit that suits his agenda. But what I was getting at is, why is your agenda to tear down what's righteous? He doesn't know what's righteous because he's been conditioned. Ryan is the victim. He brings up Victor Conte, who had nothing to do with this. He still think Ryan beat Devin. That was tainted and it was proven. He was tried and convicted. He was guilty. Oh, and then we went to Osterine don't do anything. Well, what does Osterine do? Then he couldn't answer that. But it's on the ban list. He wasn't suing for the ass whooping. He's suing under the conditions. If you fight somebody right now, and he beats your ass and you find out that he had brass knuckles in his shit, you want to fight him again? Yeah, get it back in blood. I said, I'm glad you said that. Because Ryan said no rematch. Then turned around and popped dirty. Did you know that? Oh, well, I don't believe. What do you mean? Okay, so everyone's wrong but Ryan. Do y'all know he didn't know about the racist tirade? I had to pull it up on my phone and play it for him. He didn't know about it. You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? He didn't know about it. He dead ass. He said, what racist tirade? And I just stared at him. I said, you're kidding. I said, you don't know about resurrect George Floyd and kill him again and join the Ku Klux Klan? You know, he said that? I said, oh my God. I had to pull up the whole video. I said, please listen to this. He kept looking at my phone. He said, that's him? I said, I swear to God, that's him. How do you not see this? You see what I mean? This is why you don't debate everybody. He wasn't being stupid, y'all. He dead ass didn't know. He's a busy man. I take care of my family. I go to work. I go here. I go there. Oh, let me just check on some boxing. Oh, man, Devin's suing. Why is he suing, man? He lost. Okay, I got to take care of my family. I'm going to go play baseball and do this. Oh, let's go on boxing. Oh, Devin's still suing. Oh, man, Bill's always talking. Oh, I'm going to go to work, take care of my family. And then a month later, he's back in boxing. And I told him yesterday. Well, I didn't tell him this yesterday. I said, yo, bro, you remember I have a channel, right? Oh, by the way, he don't know about the Black Murderers Row or nothing. So I left them a link to some Black Murderers Row videos. Champ Side, one of them. 78, he did a video on one of them, is another one of them. I said, on your 2-hour drive home, pick one and listen to it. Because you didn't know about them. I said, yes, in your best interest too. Because they're all black, but one of them is Boricua. His name is a Coco Kid. You ever heard of him? He said, no. I said, all right, well, just listen to this. There's a history behind this whole boxing shit involving black people. It's nothing new to me. But see, you don't think it exists. I'm not just blowing smoke, man. I can back up everything I'm saying. And every non-black, when you nail them to the wall and say, explain this shit, they cannot. You can't tell me there ain't no racism in this sport. You cannot tell me that. You cannot tell me that. Cannot. Bullshit. Exactly, Kawhi. What made Loma fascinating is his foot movement, and he's compared to who? A black fighter. When you saw Jason Williams in the NBA, white chocolate, I saw an interview. You know where he played when he grew up? He went to the black neighborhoods to play. That's why he played like that. When this dude yesterday bigged up Arturo Gatti, when he talked about Warrior, he said, yeah, but you know, Devin was boring. That wasn't no. I said it was a master class. He said, yeah, but it wasn't exciting. It wasn't no Gaddy Ward. I said, see, you're trained. I said, Gaddy. I said, yo, Gaddy's an Italian Canadian. He said, yeah, but he came up in Jersey. Yeah, he grew up around a bunch of Puerto Ricans. I said, look, I can't confirm any of that. But I know the Italians came out to see him in droves when he fought in Atlantic City. He shut the whole shit down because he's Italian. And he's exciting. And he's either going to whip somebody's ass or he was an ass whooping waiting to happen. Yeah, hen dog. Yep. Sink or swim. And a lot of times he sunk. Now everyone remembers Gaddy Ward won, but you know what they don't really remember? The other fights. You know why? Gaddy whooped Ward's ass. It wasn't even close. Because he got with Buddy McGurk and he said, all that fighting in the pocket shit, you ain't doing that, bro. We're going to box. And that's what he did. The other fights was not exciting as the first one. Because Gaddy started boxing. Devin pitched a shutout. It was a masterclass. Jose Ramirez, shame on you for not knowing how to cut off the goddamn ring. A former champion. Shame on you. In the championship rounds, not smashing the gas and just going balls to the wall. Trying to corner Devin and checking that chin to see what he could see if he's still traumatized. You couldn't even do it, Jose. Shame on you. You're a pro. So shout out to the Juice Crew. One more person to pop dirty. One more person. Exactly, Monster Musa with Hyman. With Hyman. One more person to pop dirty. Time reveals all truth. And let me say this. I ain't got no problem with you. I've never heard me say a bad thing about Heny Munguia. Until today. Until today, you never heard me say anything bad about Heny Munguia. I always said he's a true Mexican warrior. To those standards, he's a true Mexican warrior. And he works hard. And he ate one the fight before last, and he got it back. And we were done with it because it happened May 4th. Why are we just now hearing it on the 29th? I don't fucking know. But whatever. But I walked by that Reynoso gym, and I'm on some...
This should be in the trash.
And absolutely, Coach Hudson, if this was a black coach and all his fighters kept doing this, he'd be out of business. If this was Derek James, if this was Ronnie Shields, if this was Sugar Hill with all these fighters and they all start popping like popcorn like this, he'd be out of boxing. Our chats would be flooded. What about Sugar Hill? Or what about this? What about that guy? What about that? I'm like, yo, and you know what? You know what I would say? Fuck them. They cheaters. They're cheaters. Now, is Munguia gonna blame Victor Conti or I don't know? They're gonna blame Bill for this, or come on. Who's they gonna blame? Well, we're gonna find out. We got another one. And what did we say? More of them are gonna pop. More of them are gonna pop. Great. Shout out to Nonito Donaire, OSDT, Random Testing. Shout out to Devin the Dream Heny, OSDT, always training. And shout out to this dysfunction.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8.
I cannot unsee the left hook. Stop crying.
and take this with you just to make you mad.
One day it'll make sense. Till that day I gotta pay rent. You know, baby, need some new shoes. Gotta keep some dollars on the statement. Serena with the serve. Who is you what you deserve? Yeah. Who is you what you deserve? Who is you what you deserve? Yeah. Look, I feel like I should just be honest. I'm escaping traumas, trying to be the greatest, that's my promise. You know, I always stand on business, always been relentless. Know the trousers new and the shirt vintage. Living free of drama, still finding ways to make my own problems, chasing progress. A baddie sleeping in a bonnet, that's my favorite topic. Still searching for a goddess like the Black Madonna. It's like that, and I'm right back. For every message left on red and ones that I ain't right back. Was looking for some peace inside myself until I find that I'm in and out of situations, wavy as a kayak. Before the lights dim, I say a prayer, I find the one before my life end. But to be fair, I might not deserve to even find it then. I hope I'm reincarnated through the fire then, so I can try again. One day it'll make sense. Till that day I gotta pay rent. You know, baby, need some new shoes. Gotta keep some dollars on the statement. Serena with the serve. Who is you what you deserve? Yeah. Who is you what you deserve? Who is you what you deserve? Yeah. I deserve to be me. I deserve to make mistakes. I deserve to be free.
Devin sent Loma to the hospital, broken ribs. Devin sent Ramirez to the hospital, broken ribs. Ryan Garcia came in at goddamn 170, 180 pounds, juiced up, not a broken bone. Nobody says Devin had heart when he got up off the ground 3 times and still fought in the pocket. No one said he had heart. Y'all knuckle draggers are saying, oh, yeah, he's good for him. Meanwhile, your father incarcerated or you don't even know him. G. Rose said Reynoso got the trap house. You know what, bro? Let's clown tomorrow. Yes, sir. I love this. The Reynoso trap house. That's tomorrow. Thank you. You know what? Fuck that. This is where you at, brother? Where you at? Yeah. I gotta give out 2 wrenches. Wait a minute. I like that. I gotta give out 3 wrenches. I'm sorry. He said Reynoso got the trap house. Wait a minute. He said Reynoso got the trap house. Wait, why I can't find a brother? Wait a minute. Where's he at? G-Road, type something. Why I can't see him? He said Reynoso got the trap house. Damn. I'm trying to wrench the brother. Oh, there you go. Reynoso trap house. So listen, y'all. I don't know what the brother Champ Side's talking about today, but it needs to be this. It needs to be this. Oh, Mana Musa, yes, I'm dropping a link tomorrow. We going in. We going in. No. We going in. Reynoso got the trap. Yo, my meme tomorrow is going to be, oh, my God. Oh, I got to get to work, y'all. I got to get to work. I'm doing the meme on Eddie with the trap house, bro. Yes. Streets the block. Yes. We are going to drag Team Reynoso tomorrow. And I'm be honest with you, I did not expect Heny Munguia. If you told me pick the guy that's going to pop next, I would not have picked Heny Munguia at all. At all. I would not have picked it. And you know what? I don't give a fuck what his excuse is going to be. I don't care. You did it. I don't care if he's on some, I didn't know what they never know. When have you heard a fucking fighter say, you know what, I did it? I'm sorry, Jarrell Miller did. And we ain't seen him for 2 years. Okay? Everybody else don't know what happened. Where's Dillian White's B sample? I rest my case. Salute to all the fighters that have no problems. Nonito Donaire, Devin Haney, and everybody else that's straight line. All the other cheaters, go somewhere. Trap House Eddie tomorrow. Open panel. Yes, sir. Salute to everybody at Venmo to Zelda Cash App Super Chat. I think the gentleman's on. Yo, hit up everybody. They need to be talking about Eddie Reynoso and Munguia's failed test. Yes, this is big news. Because if it was a black fighter that popped dirty, well, you already know. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
All my troubles come more nigga. Yeah, it makes me mad. Why you niggas are so against somebody for you?
How much longer do you think your
It
mouth
makes me so mad. And long enough to beat your ass if you fuck up. That's right. You might not get out of the stadium tonight. You gotta be cool because you've been watched.
Mexican fans are like,
Can I ask you what's going on? Can I ask you what's going on? Can I ask you what's going on? Can I ask you what's going on?